this was the song Missing, composed by Jan Omersch in memory of his beloved daughter and no other who lost their lives. That's it. Now I would like to give the floor to Mrs. Luciana Ioio, who is chair of the Global Fund for Road Safety.
Yes, good evening, distinguished colleagues. I have a presentation, but that really does not matter. I just wanted to acknowledge that I'm very happy to be here, but of course I am humbled and heartbroken by all these stories I have acknowledged today. And the humbled and heartbroken by the stories acknowledged today. And the issue is that, yes, I am here in my capacity as a chair of the Global Forum for Road Traffic Safety. And I do know that all the other colleagues we have been doing a lot. And I do know the colleagues in the European Commission. We have here Mr. Baldwin. The European Commission has always been, let's say, fighting in different fields in order to promote road safety from different perspectives, and so the WHO colleagues, and at the UNEC. But clearly, if we are here, something has not worked, or something is not working properly as it should have been. You know, I trust that we are all, let's say, really good policy makers. But clearly we are, and we know that, we are still missing the target. That's the point, we know that. So it goes without saying, and you don't need me to say that. We are there, we hear stories, we know have a lot of stories. And the only, let's say, legacy we can have out of these days is to try to work harder, you know, and try to dive in and try to understand what is it that does not had or led to the results we all expected. This will not, let's say, ease the pain and will not bring back, let's say, the late ones. Of course it will not. But maybe it is something, let's say, we will bring with us, you know, in order to, let's say, do more, or at least to look at things with a different perspective. I don't like figures as well. I think it was the lady with whom I shared the name, Lucienne, who said that, you know, you have a moment in which someone you love turns into a figure, and then it turns into data, you know, which is something really shaking. You know, we don't like that, but indeed these are a sort of striking reminder. So what can we do? Indeed, we can do that. We can be the example. The FEVR can be a stark example of how things are, let's say, what makes the bell ring inside us, and maybe optimize the tool we have. I do chair the advisory board of the UN Road Safety Fund, and I really hope that this tool will make the most in order to grant resources where much needed. So I am again grateful for being here, and I don't know what to say more than that. Thank you.
Now I would like to give the floor to Mrs. Lotte Brandum, Executive Director of Global Alliance for NGOs on Road Safety and Road Victims.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeannot, and thank you, FEVR, for inviting me here. I'm from the Global Alliance of NGOs for Road Safety, and FEVR is a member of the Alliance alongside 240 NGOs in 90 countries. And over the last couple of months, we've been asking our NGOs to go out and investigate with ordinary people if they knew, and asking questions around whether they knew someone who had been in a crash and how they have been affected. And you know what? Almost 100% have been affected by crashes in one way or the other. My face to the tragedy is this. I was 7 years old, and it was a Saturday morning in mid-May, and I was playing outside as my godfather pulled up his car in front of our house. His 18-year-old daughter, Mette, had been killed the night before. She just had a driver's license of driving with 4 friends, and she had been in a crash in this very silent and calm streets in our small town. My face is Mette, but my face is also my godfather. The father who lost his daughter. My godfather, he was a man who loved life. He was someone who sort of had that rare ability to get life around him, get everyone to smile, get everyone to be very enthusiastic and mobilize people. He was someone who spread joy and laughter and smiles. And he really lived his life to its fullest and made you feel like every day was something very, very special. And life was something that you wanted to experience. And that day, when Mette died, that light really faded. And he never became the same. And he was such a shadow for many years. My godfather died a month ago. He was close to 90 years old. And in one of our last conversations, I described how I'm working with fathers like him who have lost their daughters. And he asked me to continue to make sure that Mette had not been lost in vain. So to me, World Day of Remembrance is about honoring Mette and honoring all those 3,700 people who die on our roads every day. And it's really about putting a face to that tragedy. The unbearable loss it is to lose a friend, to lose a daughter, to lose a dear one. But to me, the World Day of Remembrance is also about those who are left behind. That we make sure that the lives have not been lost in vain. The World Day of Remembrance is where we remember and honor, but it's also where we ignite ourselves for change. And because in the midst of this tragedy, we need working hard to prevent that 3,700 people will die today, will die tomorrow, and the day the day after. Those deaths can be prevented. So I will continue working to prevent that my dear one should not lose a dear one, as we lost Mette. I will work hard so that my daughter shall not again lose a close friend as she lost Tara. And so that millions of people around the world should not lose a dear one. So to you who have lost a dear one, I cry with you and I admire your courage. Your courage to put a face to the unacceptable death, because by doing that, you make our cause about people and about preventing death and about value of life. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to give the floor to Mr. John Van Oels, who will present the project for the European Monument for Road Traffic Victims, who's supposed to be installed soon here in Brussels.
Okay. Quite some people. Normally I'm working in my studio and there are less people watching me, so my most loyal conversation partner is Frida, it's my cat. So you have to excuse me if I sound a little bit nervous. The spot where the monument will be placed is right in the heart of the center of Brussels. But the content, and it's a little bit important, a tribute to all traffic victims in Belgium and Europe is a very delicate subject that, of course, must be treated with a lot of caution and respect. Unfortunately for me, it was not so difficult to imagine how it feels when you lose someone you love. I was 28 years old when my precious mother died at the age of 48 after quite a tough battle against cancer. About the monument, we all live in a super fast, hectic world. Everything and everybody must act faster, quicker, better and bigger. Hopefully this important monument can provoke some contemplation and let us dwell on the vulnerability of life. In front of you there is a happy man standing, but also a humble man. And to everybody in this room, keep up the good work and thank you for listening. If there are questions.
I would like to give the floor to Peter Fans from Schaerbeek.
Hello, I'm Peter. I live in Schaerbeek. I have a citizen group in Schaerbeek that's called WDoR2019 I will explain where it comes from. 2 years ago, on the 7th November of 2017, Stephanie Verbrakel was hit and killed by a car when she was crossing the streets in Schaerbeek. She was a young journalist, also an illustrator and a graphic designer. And for me, her death was no accident. It was the result of a car driver driving criminally fast in a local residential neighborhood, driving 90 kilometers an hour. And it was also the result of a decades-long policy that puts the comfort of the car driver above the safety of pedestrians and cyclists. So where she died, there was a crossroad, but there was no pedestrian crossing. There was nothing to stop the car driver from speeding, even though she literally died under a sign saying zone 30. If you look at research, traffic is the main reason for young families to leave Brussels. So it's something we all knew, and that's why we came together to form a sort of citizen movement that we called WDoR2019, like 1030. 1030 is the postal code of the community where we live and the community we all love. And 0 is for zero. So I think these natural partners that we have and this sort of natural feeling that exists within all humans is our major partner to get things moving and to realize an important change in our streets that will not only make them safer but also more welcome for our most